Live from the chicken wing capital of the world, Buffalo, New York. You're listening to the Childcare Bridge podcast, your source for the best tips, tools, and tactics on how to market and grow your childcare center, ensuring total domination. Total domination. This is the Childcare Bridge, and this is your host, Michael Tasner.
How far are you away from retirement? Whether retirement means selling your business, whether retirement means giving it to someone in your family. But how far away are you? Are you a couple of years, a year, 10 years? What is that magical number? In today's episode of our show, I want to talk you through a concept about seeing a brighter future and actually taking this notion of retirement off the table. Now, hear me out before you, Michael, are you crazy? Like, are you saying I should be working when I'm 100? There's a lot of interesting things that I've learned over the last couple of years. And one of the things that I remember saying, and this was a while ago, was I wanted to be financially retired by the time I'm 30. And spoiler alert, I'm well past that age. And spoiler alert number 2, that didn't end up happening. But as I've been going to different seminars and having different mentors, one of the things that I've been noticing is that this aspect around retirement has been completely reframed. So, for example, if you were like, I wanted to own this childcare business until I was 65, that tends to be a magical number for a lot of people, like 65 and out, so to speak, and then kind of ride off into the sunset. And that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Like, hey, work another 20 plus years and then just call it quits. But there's two completely different things that I want to kind of mentor you on today, and hopefully this lands, because this is not something that I've talked about in the last 2 years of doing this show. I dive into extremely practical, and this is going to be practical, but a lot of people don't like to talk about this particular subject of retirement. So the first piece that I want you to really start to think about is, why can't you have your cake and eat it too? Why can't you have the best of all the different worlds? So as you're running your business right now, I know that there are challenges all day, every day. The stress in this business, I think, is a stress that most people have never felt before. The stress of, is licensing going to be knocking on my door and coming in for a random inspection today? Is this child's parents going to fly off the handle because XYZ happened? Are we going to have 5 people that call in sick after a long holiday weekend, and then we're going to be out of ratio, and it's going to be like the amount of stress can be very, very high. On the flip side, this is also one of, if not the most rewarding careers, impacts that I've ever been able to make with you as well. Seeing young minds transform, seeing kids transform. I mean, a lot of times these kids are coming in as an infant and they're staying for 4, 5, 6 years. Like, being able to see that journey is, I'll use the word magical. Like, there's just something extremely special about it. But what if right now you could also enjoy little mini retirements? That could mean you taking a step away for 30 days and going and touring Italy, for example, a place that I have yet to go to, and that's on my bucket list that I hope I will tackle in the next 2 years. What if you wanted to just take a sabbatical for 6 months and just kind of check out and recharge your battery? So my point number one is that you don't have to wait until a certain age to enjoy the fruits of what you've created. You are not meant to be a servant to your business. You are the master of the business. You're not serving the business. The business serves you. And you might push back and say, well, Michael, there's no way that I could check out for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love. And it's the fact that you've built yourself a job, not a business. If you can't step away for 30 days, you have a job, not a business. Number two, with that in mind, everything is fixable and improvable. Everything can improve. It's not having the right systems, the right processes, and the right people around you. You don't necessarily need a number two if you only own one center, and there's nothing wrong with only owning one. As you know, I'm closing in on 20. But this aspect of, well, I can't even step away for a day, well, that's why you're continuing to get burned out. You've got to look at your systems, your processes, to make sure that your team has everything that they need for any particular situation. They have signing authority for certain things. You have people that are handling the money side so that you can legitimately check out for 30 days. That is step number one. So once you have that stuff in place, I would encourage you to plan mini sabbaticals over the next couple of years. Maybe you take the whole summer off. Now, what ends up happening is that you recharge your battery, and there's all the statistical evidence that shows that taking these vacations and sabbaticals where you don't work, you come back more focused, more energized, more ideas. But then it also proves to you that you've got a business, that you're not needed 24/7. And I can promise you, if you start to do this, you're going to start to have more respect for your business. You're going to enjoy it a little bit more, and you're going to know, hey, I can do this. Now, flipping over to point number two. So that's the first point. My recommendation, and I do this at least once a year, typically twice a year. My sabbaticals are 3 weeks long each. I can tell you that I come back recharged, but it's just a freeing feeling that I'm not having to check my email, my cell phone every 5 seconds. I have a number two. I have people that are checking my email, that are executing things without me. Point number two is the time horizon. And this is the other one that's very, very interesting for me. If you know that your business can run without you, and you can essentially work when you want to work 1 day a week, you want to work 3 to 5 days a week, and you want to tinker with certain things, you want to work on curriculum, you want to sit at the front desk and just greet families, like whatever you want to do, you're able to do. When you get to that place, is there a reason that you would want to stop? If you love doing it, why would you want to just retire? And I always thought that I needed a retirement date. And yes, like I've got financial things that say, okay, great. As long as your income continues to this and you, for another 20 years, you're going to have this amount of money in retirement. So yes, I've got all those plans. But to me, the date is a moving target. If I'm enjoying what I'm doing, why would I just want to stop? And the studies that I've been reading over the last couple of months have been what happens to people's brains when they go from working and like moving your body to kind of a sedentary state. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they retire, they sit in front of their TVs for 10 plus hours a day. Disease is starting to, things start to change rapidly. I saw this in my father-in-law. Within maybe 6 months, 12 months on the high side of him retiring, he was active every day for 40 plus years, he developed Parkinson's. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but it seems to be quite strange that You go from being active and using your brain every day to sedentary, and then all of a sudden Parkinson's kicks in. I'm in no way a doctor, but most of his doctors have said, hey, you need to be using your brain, you got to be getting interaction with people, so you start to lose those things. The other thing that happens when you have a date, so if you're thinking, well, I want to retire in a year or sell the business in 2 years, well, then you end up changing the way that you're acting to only look at the next year or two. Well, why not look out 10, 20, 30 years? It's giving you a bigger vision. If you're doing, I'm just going to pick a magical, using the word magical, I've been listening to a bunch of books on Walt Disney's life as I've been walking in the evening. So I guess Disney's on my mind today. Let's say you're doing $10 million. You've got 5, 6, 7, 8 locations, nice size locations. And you're thinking, great, this is it. Well, why not put a plan in place for 10, 20, 30 years so that you can start to envision it? You can start to realize, wow, like this thing could be $100 million. And maybe it's not the financial number. Maybe it's just the amount of families that you're helping. Well, now all of a sudden, instead of helping 700 families a year, we're helping 10,000. And what you'll start to notice is that your decision making starts to change a bit. You are able to think bigger. The whole book, The Magic of Thinking Big, because you're not constrained to a timeline. Not constrained. So I want you to marinate on today's episode. I want you to, ask yourself a serious question. Can you check out for 30 days, no email, no phone? None of it. No text messages. I don't want any interaction with your center. Can that happen? Yes or no? If no, that needs to be your priority the next 6 to 12 months. How can you work yourself out of a job so that your business is serving you and that you can actually check out? It's not a badge of honor to be bringing a laptop and a cell phone. You're going to have a cell phone regardless, but a laptop on vacation. It's just not. This is why people get burned out and then they resent their business. Once you've accomplished that, I want you to schedule a 30-day sabbatical, retreat, whatever you want to call it, and stress test the system. And number 2, I want you to put together a bigger vision that's longer, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Cast a bigger vision so that your mind isn't constrained in thinking about the next 1 year, 2 years. Cast that vision out and know that, hey, if you want to work in this business for 30 years, you can. It's your business. You can do whatever you want. You can do the landscaping. Whatever is going to bring you the most joy is where you need to focus. Michael Tasner signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'll see you next week.